Recording.
Hello and welcome to a rebroadcast of episode 3 of Artifacts with Edie. As we get to learn our new equipment and to be able to bring this program to you, we're making lots of technical mistakes, but we're looking forward to having another historically amazing episode with you today with the artifacts of the Summit County Historical Society. So thank you for staying tuned and for tuning in. My name is Edie Steiner, and I'm helping you to study for the big exam on Friday where you will compete head-to-head with the working dogs of Mutton Hill. So be sure to watch every episode this week so that you are ready for the big test on Friday. Can you earn the title of Are You Smarter Than a Border Collie? Or maybe the Border Collies will take home the title as the world's smartest dogs once again. Tune in to find out. If you're tuning in for the live broadcast, or if you're tuning in afterwards, just say hello to us in the comments. You can feel free to add comments throughout the lesson today. That way we know that you're here, we're listening to your comments, and we're checking in with you. Again, this is a live show and tell with the artifacts of the Summit County Historical Society, where history is always within your reach, and more than 3,000 people have reached out to us and celebrated the artifacts of the Summit County Historical Society this week so far. So if you, and some of you have even shared your family history and your family stories about the Ohio and Erie Canal. Yesterday, we learned that viewer Crystal Mancine had relocated from Ohio to Nebraska and then back to Ohio again. She can certainly empathize with General Simon Perkins and his family, who relocated from Connecticut to Warren, Ohio. We have some amazing young scholars tuning in with us today from Cyberlink Community Learning Center and Bridges Learning Center. These students are some of Ohio's finest and historically significant people. I am confident that they will shape the future of the great state of Ohio, which was founded in what year? If you don't remember, go back to episode 2. So far this week, we've talked about fun and creativity, enterprise, art, and today we are taking things to a whole different level. The early settlers of Ohio found that they were isolated in the wilderness. The canals gave people a chance to travel, ship, and receive goods such as wool, coal, and sandstone. The Perkins Stone Mansion, where I'm outside of right now, is made from this beautiful sandstone similar to the canals. Canals must have water to operate, and lots of it. Water must pass down through the sandstone locks, and therefore must come from the highest level. This is why Akron Summit was chosen over other possible locations. At 395 feet above Lake Erie, Akron was the summit the Ohio Erie Canal needed. What do you think, though, will happen when a boat is asked to go up a hill? This is where our special guest, Mary Conley, the Society's 4th grade outreach presenter, has your next clue. And put it closer to the door.
And they're going to open the sluice for the lower waterways. And
And what that will do is allow the water to drain out of the lock. As it drains out, it's going to lower the boat. And when the boat gets to the right level, they will open the gate, and then he can travel on through. And it works the exact same way going the opposite direction. For example, if we start at the bottom picture where our boat is already at the lower level and now wants to get back to the high level, they're going to do the exact same thing. They're going to let them inside the lock and close the gates. This time what they'll do is they're going to open the sluice where the water is at its highest, and that water will fill the lock, it will raise the boat, and then when the boat gets to the right level, they'll open the gate and he's able to go on through. Now I would like to show you how that works on my model lock that I have right here. In this case, we do have a boat that's traveling at a low level of water, and he's going to want to get up to this higher level. So there's going to be people standing here on the ground, and they're going to open the gates, and they're going to let him inside the lock. They'll close the gates behind them, that way no water should escape the lock, because what they'll do is open the sluice on this side. That water is going to fill the lock, and see how it's raised my boat? And then when the boat's at the right level, that's when they open the big wood gates and he travels on through. To go in the opposite direction, we're going to pretend here that the lock is this section. So this is a gate, and this is the lower level of the canal. We're going to keep this gate closed so no more high water can get into the lock, and now what we're going to want to do is drain it out. So to drain it out, they open up that little sluice, the water flows out, it lowers the boat. Now the boat is even with the rest of the canal. They open the gates, and he travels on. Now, it takes roughly 45 minutes just to go through one lock, and only one boat at a time can go through the lock. In the city of Akron, there are a series of locks called the Cascade locks. And just to navigate through the city, it could take you well over 13 hours, sometimes even longer, because what would happen is boats would have to wait to go through, and oftentimes it would cause traffic jams. Sometimes you may even have to wait longer than a day to go through the lock. As a result, a lot of businesses began to open along the canal, especially here in the city of Akron. People opened up taverns, hotels, restaurants, mills, general stores, so the economy really begins to grow along the canal. Not only that, we're able to get all kinds of goods coming from all over the world because the canal allows us to transport goods into the state. So, by the time the 1850s roll around, which was the peak time for the canals, Ohio becomes the third richest state. So you can see the huge impact that the canal system had on the state. Now I do like to mention someone that has a close tie to the canal who was pretty famous and a person from Ohio, and that was President James Garfield. When he was a teenager, he used to work on the Ohio Erie Canal. He was what we call a mule skipper. He is the guy that would guide the donkey or a mule along the tow path that's towing the boat. Well, you know, he was not very good at his job, and oftentimes he would get tangled up in the tow ropes and he would fall into the canal. Canal water is not clean. It can be very dirty because people would dump their waste and trash in there. So as a result, he would end up getting sick quite a bit. Finally, he just got fed up with being sick and he did quit working along the canal, but eventually he did become the 20th president of the United States.
Thank you, Mary, for giving us our next clue. Locks are waterways that are used for transportation. If you've ever been down to the Canal Park Baseball Stadium, you've probably seen Lock 2 of the Ohio and Erie Canal, made from the stone blocks of the 1820s. So we're going to show you another picture of the rocks at the quarry, because these beautiful sandstone blocks were quarried from large rock formations such as places as the Deep Lock Quarry in Peninsula and Berea in neighboring Cuyahoga County. These blocks help keep the water in by building edges. Each block was cut by a mason who left their mark on the finished product. Masonry is a skill where rock is handcrafted into shapes that form units that can be used to make structures such as bridges, locks, and buildings. In Akron, the high point of the county, you can find several historical structures made of these hand-carved stones. Our artifact of the day shaped these stones. So let's review what we have learned so far. Mary helped us to learn how to make a boat go up a hill. So she said that the water needed to fill inside of what? I think I have the key to your answer. A lock. The stones that line the side were hand cut from what kind of stone? Sandstone rock. You guessed it. Great work, scholars. Last, what was the profession of the person who created these shaped stones? If you said mason, you're the student of the day. So what could the artifacts of the day possibly be? If you guessed a steel chisel and a mallet, you are a great listener. This mallet is made out of wood and would have been used to tap the chisel all along the seam of the stone using wedges as well. Our chisel is flat, and the chisel is likely part of a set of tools used by a mason. I'm going to give you a closer picture of the chisel. The chisel's made of steel and comes in many sizes to chip, pry, or to hold and break materials until they release apart. This tool is made of steel and it is harder than the stone. So when it's used with the mallet, the mason has control on the amount of stone that they can chip and carve away. This allows the mason to make the stone consistent in size for stacking and placement for shipping on something like a canal boat or a structure. So as you travel by some of the historic buildings in Akron and Summit County, the Old Stone School, the Summit County Courthouse, St. Bernard's Church, the Oliver R. Osei, and the government building, the municipal building, the key bank site of the old quarry, and of course, here at the Perkins Stone Mansion, take a moment to pause and know that each one of these historic stones that hold up these beautiful buildings in our county were cut by hand. Let that sink in for a moment. Each stone was carved by hand carved by people like us, from families like ours, during times much like our own. When times were unpredictable in early Ohio, Ohioans worked together to create something truly remarkable, just like we will continue to do together. Times were not easy, but the power from the water brought the canals. The water from the canals brought opportunities for enterprise. Runoff water from the locks was used to power mills to grind grains that were used for food locally or were shipped to other locations via the canal. I can almost smell the oatmeal cookies now. As shepherdess of the Summit County Historical Society, I am living in my own historical moment. So I'm headed back to the sheep with the Border Collies to get ready for our live game show on Friday. Check out each episode from this week to study hard for Friday's big quiz, Are You Smarter Than a Border Collie? The Summit County Historical Society also streams all of our episodes on YouTube, and sometimes we re-record them on Facebook Live. Tomorrow will be your final chance, though, to study for the big quiz. We will show you an artifact our artifact for the week we will show you an artifact from our specially curated collection, so consider yourself notified. I will see you tomorrow at 11:30 for another episode of Artifacts with Edie, where I show and tell the artifacts from the Summit County Historical Society, where history is always within reach.